花驱赶检玉米的丛林，这个情况我们建议找。
This video shows farmers defending their corn harvest from freelooters with firework. This happens way too often in China, where people think it's their right to steal, pick, or rob people of their hard work. Believe me, I know because when I was a kid, I did this too in China. I went to people's garden, I took out their carrots and fruits, and I basically stole some. This video is from Flushing, New York. Chinese people saw fruits on one of the trees and decided to get some for themselves. What's so unique about stealing fruits and vegetables, and why do Chinese people do it? Well, they don't consider this stealing because it's actually so common in China. And this, unfortunately, has been exported outside of China. And this also extends to not just stealing when it comes to free things or when it comes to supermarket sales. Toilet papers.
你干什么玩意儿的？咋的呀？上厕所上哪子的？我拿点吃啥？你拿点吃，又不是你家的，关你什么事儿？不能用，公用的别人能用，我怎么就不能用啊
？Store bags.
你别把我其他东西拿了。对呀，你抓走好了。
我瞅了那么多袋子。
留一点，我要分，那再给一点。我回家不好分了。算了。
By the way, I should explain something. This is actually, you see a lot of the videos I show are these like older women, right? This actually has become a culture of some sort. It's called 大妈 culture, or basically old auntie culture. And a lot of it contains this political connotation, which this article from the New York Times actually talks about back in 2014. And what it essentially is this idea of them, going anywhere they go, they ruin things. When they go to Japan, they're like shaking the sakura, the trees, the leaves, the petals.
桜の木を激しく揺する人物。こちらの映像では木の上に登り花見シーズンを迎えるたびにこういったマナー違反が中国でも大問題に。
And so it's a really negative connotation to be called a dama in Chinese, or old auntie. To strings. Or free ice cream. This nationalistic influencer was mad that BMW at an auto show didn't give Chinese people ice cream, and he gave them out for free. Unfortunately, an older lady came and took about 5 or 6 with her. Sometimes it gets chaotic. Older people, they always say they're tired, but then when it comes to free things, they suddenly have energy. This video is for free umbrellas. And this one is for a free test ride in a subway cart. This video shows them stealing from a truck during a red light stop. Or when a truck driver is resting on the road and he sees apple trees, he goes to pick apple from somebody else's orchard. Unfortunately, he got caught. And last year, there was a music festival in Henan, and people came out to camp in tents. And I guess it was kind of like the Burning Man of China. When they came back from their wet festival, their belongings had all been taken by these local grandmas. If you enjoy watching content about China or like what I'm doing with the channel, considering subscribing to the channel. And as we have new videos in the form of shorts every day and typically 3 long-form videos per week. In this video on October 13th in northern China, elderly people were picking corn in someone else's field. They were caught by the farmer and a conflict broke out between the two parties, resulting in 1 injury and 1 unalived. The daughter of the victim said that the corn had been harvested and many villagers were picking corns in the field. Her mother broke off a few corns and she was beaten by the landowner. Her father was unalived by the farmer, and she believed that her father's end was unjust and hoped to seek justice. So yeah, sometimes it causes a lot of misery. The key reason why Chinese people do this is that the older generation came from a period of starvation. Especially in the countryside, in rural area, it became a part of childhood education that you have to fend for yourself. You have to get as much, get fed, not be hungry, and get personal gains. And a lot of that has been ingrained in the boomers generation. And that's why a lot of these videos, there are older people doing this.
我这摘几个啊？
哦，白天不就偷？
白天就偷吗？
哦，白天不就偷？
人家
哦，晚上就偷。
我就是倒霉了，给你看，人家摘了早就走了。
During their youth, the boomers in China actually went through real hunger, the Great Famine, right? And much of the pre-reform and opening up era under Mao Zedong. So they know what real hunger, starvation, and just the danger of survival is like. When the Cultural Revolution happened, it subsequently broke the spirit side of the Chinese people. Mao promoted the ideas of getting dirty and getting low, right? To mark the status of peasants. What he was calling was the collective ownership of things. People really have no moral restrictions to not take from others. This whole communism thing, right? Your food is our food.
哎呀妈，还花30块钱洗个车，收获满满，你看。 啥都有，南瓜、黄瓜、老黄瓜、茄子、玉米、西红柿、桃子。
And so, of course, seeing that food itself is a key for survival, you have the previous experience, the trauma of hunger, also not considering it as too valuable, right? The idea is that they don't feel like they're stealing because they're not stealing, $1 million watch or, jewelries of that sort. They're just borrowing. And that's where this common saying of, quote, free take, why not take it? Which is basically the mentality like, if it's free for us to use, like those plastic bags in the grocery store for your, fresh produce or toilet paper in a public bathroom, or even fruits and veggies laying on the ground, or what essentially manifested is that any little advantage people can gain, even if it means, fruits and veggies or free bags, that's considered a win over others.
哎，大哥，我问一下，这是你家的菜是吗？
是啊，我种的菜啊。
哦，你承认了这是你的是吧？
在我家门口，我肯定承认啊，这不是我的。
行，你承认了就好。那我就先跟你说一说，算一下账。昨天晚上我来你这儿薅了这个菜是啊，我儿子现在上吐下泻在医院了，已经花了2万多块钱了，这个钱你得给我出，算一下后续的医药费一共5万块钱。
你偷我家菜，我都不知道这个地方怎么少了一个角，你怪不得原来是你偷的。你看这上面，农家化肥，这脏的，昨天就是前天刚弄上去。
你这个菜种在这个大路边上，对吧？那我摘一点菜，这是自然的摘，怎么就跟偷有关系了呢？
什么叫自？
So this is a skit, and of course it became a meme on Chinese social media. The veggies planted by the owner, the girl here filming, she comes back to ask the owner to pay, as her son got sick from eating the veggies. Ridiculous, right? You stole the vegetable from this person, and then now you're asking them to pay for your kids' health fees. Well, this actually happened in China. In 2016, an old granny stole daffodils from her neighbors to make dumplings for her grandson, which got her grandson sick. And then she went back and tried to ask for compensation from her neighbor, even though she was the one who stole stuff from her. So sometimes these people, they're super nonchalant about it, right? Like this one here. She was caught stealing cabbage and she just acted as if she's in the right. Or this one here, the group of grannies attacking the man for catching them in the act.
In this video, you have a college grad who went back to his hometown after graduation to start a shrimp farm. And then people came to first steal some small fishes or shrimps, but later on, more and more people came, knowing the fact that, well, the farmer can't do anything to stop them or catch them all. So they took it all from the farmer. Now, to me, it's unheard of that people would steal things like veggies and fruits. Now that I've, grown up in the West, sure, again, stealing's bad, right? Stealing anything, that's a crime. But if you're stealing expensive stuff like jewelry or watches or, whatever luxury item, bags, that's an actual criminal behavior, right? But sure, like stealing fruit is still considered a criminal behavior, but to me, it just seems like the nature of it, it's more bizarre than an actual crime in itself, But this video here shows a man taking 30 watermelons from someone's farm into his car. Another melon farmer, this is a different story, he was trying to catch the melon thieves, and in the process, I guess he injured one of them, and he had to pay them 300 yuan for the compensation of injury. Although later, allegedly, the parties resolved it, the party that stole returned the $300 and the two sides reached an agreement. From the Flushing video, we also know that they've taken this outside of China. This is in Japan. 2 Chinese technical intern trainees arrested for allegedly stealing 20 watermelons from a field in Japan. And this headline, also from Japan, this was revealed by Japan's Fuji TV. 60% of Chinese tourists steal items from Japanese hotel rooms. There's also other cases of stealing in the US as well, from Chinese people. But the point is that they aren't going around stealing high valuable goods like a good thief would. But what they're doing is the pettiest of petty crime. All right, that's it today for the episode on there seems to be a habit of Chinese people stealing fruits and vegetables and everything else that's free. If you enjoy the content, leave a like, comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, bye-bye.